Hi all, welcome to Supercoders. So in this tutorial, I will show you how you can create a post API in which you can pass the dynamic form model name and save the data. Here if you see, I have the model name, and the post data which I am going to pass, and it will save the data in our database. If I didn't pass any data, if I cut the data, send it, it will show me the error. The fields are required. If I add the parameters and send it, and it's gonna work and save the data in our database. So in this tutorial, I will show you how you can save the data in our database with a dynamic form API post method. So let's get started and let's work on this tutorial. So first, coming to our dynamic form controller. So opening user service, controller, dynamic form controller, and here our get method. Now let's get a post method to save this data. So getting a define post self request model name. After that, so first I'm just adding condition if model name not in get dynamic form models, and you already know what is dynamic form models. Let me show you again. So it is a dictionary of data with our model name, or you can say prefix name, with actually map with the our database models. So after that, if model name is not exist, I can simply return the message return response error model not found status 404. After that, let's do other things. So again, model equal to get dynamic model, then pass in the key name, which is model name coming from the URL. So at this data will return the dictionary, and in dictionary, I'm just accessing the key. Suppose that I'm passing product category, whereas I can get the actual model name. After that, just get a class. So model underscore class equal to apps dot get underscore model and model. Again, adding one more condition. If model class is none, simply return the message return model not found. And here I'm just returning model not found, model not exist. And here model not found. So I can separate the two errors. After that, let's do other conditions. So here I'm just creating some variables. So fields info equal to model underscore class dot underscore meta dot fields. Here I can get the fields all this. After that, I'm creating another fields. So model underscore fields equal to field dot name or field in fields info, field names of the model. After that, I'm just creating one more variable, excluded fields. Excluded fields is such fields which we exclude our data or in model, which I already defined. Get excluded field. Copy this method, paste it here. Let's import this also here. After importing, let's do what? So here in the first condition, I'm just checking what are the fields are required and which is not passed in our post API. So I can return validation message error if the data has if the model has some required field, like I have category and there are 3-4 fields like name, image, description are required fields. If the user is not passing this data in the post API, I can simply return a message. So I'm using this logic to write a dynamic validation for our dynamic model API. Here I'm just adding required fields equal to field dot name or field in fields info. If not, so here first condition I'm just checking if the field is not null, then, and second condition I'm just checking field dot default is not done. And third condition I'm checking and field dot name not in excluded fields. So I just added three conditions. So I can get all the required fields here. So first condition I'm just checking field is not null. Then second condition I'm checking the default value of the field is not null. And third, if the field not exist in the excluded field. So after that I can get all the field names which is required fields by using these conditions. After that I'm just adding one more condition. Missing fields equal to field for field in required underscore fields if field not in request data. So here I'm just checking what I'm just getting all the missing fields. I'm just checking my current required fields. If that field is not exist in our request data, so what I can do, I'm just simply return if missing fields has some data. So I return simply return response error error. Then after that formatting the message. So have the following field is required column and passing the field name field. Now where I get this field, so we can get this field by or field in missing fields. I just run the inline loop to get all the fields this way. After that, let's see add in the status equal to 400. Here it is showing some error. Let me see. Okay, here I think this one close here. The following field is required, and you can use this format method to format and print the message. So here it will return the array of validation message. So here I just add the logic for field in missing fields. It runs the loop and we can get an array of all the missing fields and I'm returning the message 400. After that, I can do what? I'm just creating another fields equal to request dot data dot method. So I just use here copy method because I'm gonna do some changes in our request data after getting the data. First one is it is showing suggestion. So what I can do fields domain user ID. First I'm adding domain user ID which I can get from the request user ID. So request dot user dot ID dot domain underscore user ID. Then I have to add another data which is fields added by user ID. Added by user underscore ID. If you check all the models, like if I check with product service and categories, these two fields we will see added by user ID and domain user ID. So this must come from our logged in user. So that's why I'm just checking with the logged in user request.user.id. And here we can't set the ID directly. We can send it with the object method. Here we can see set this object directly because if I see the domain user ID, it is with foreign key. If you see the domain user ID, it is foreign key. So it had the user instance, but if you see the ID, it doesn't have the user instance. So if I set, let me show you first time error. So after this, just save this data. So again, model underscore instance equal to models class dot objects dot and simply pass the fields. After that, just return this data. So after saving this data, I'm just returning the same data in the response after adding it. So I can say serialize. So just converting the data into serialized data. Serialized data equal to serialize, serialize, serialize JSON model underscore instance. After that, let's convert this data into JSON. So for that, model JSON equal to JSON.loads serialize data. And after that, just return this response. So return response data, and here returning model underscore JSON, then message data saved successfully. After that, let's import this serialize in JSON. So for serialize, just import it back from Django, Django.core dot serializers import serializer. After that, import JSON also. So import JSON. Now our error has been gone. So that let's save it and check it's gonna work or not. So I'm just using the category data to save it. So coming to the Postman, and here just first try to log in. Click on send, get this token, access token, copy it, come to the dynamic form API, duplicate this tab and save as dynamic form post, dynamic form API post, save it, change this method to post, here in header, pass bearer, in this, save it, and here in warehouse, I'm just using category for now, for saving the category data. Right now, I'm not passing any data, just try to send, and it is showing me some error. Apps has not attribute get mode. Okay, there is some wrong. Okay, it should be get model. Save it. So if I try to send again, and here we get the required fields error, name, image description, and display order. These fields are required. So again, after that, here we can do some changes. Save it. Now let's send the data. So just passing the data, name, test, x2, image, https, example.com, then description, test, description, then passing the display order, 1. Stand it, and here we get the error. That's what we expected. The added by user ID must be a user instance. So coming back to the project, let's fix it. That's what I say earlier. So here, just coming to the dynamic form controller. Now here, if I see request.user.id, this need to be user instance. So for that, users.objects.get id equal to request.user.id. Import this user. Now save it. Now let's try to hit it again. And here we go. We can get all this data, but here we're getting also some data like model, PK, and all those things. So we don't need all this data. Instead of that, I need an ID here in this data. So I'm just returning this data. Here, I'm just modifying the response. So here, model instance, model JSON, then model underscore JSON equal to model JSON. So I need a zero index with fields. What I can do? Zero index with fields. After that, I can do also one more thing. Model, or you can say response underscore JSON equal to this, and response JSON ID equal to model JSON 0 PK. Now here change the response message, save it. Now let's try to send it again. So click on send, and here we go. The PK has been gone, model has been gone, and we can get the old data inside the data with ID 19. Now here, if I want to send the key which is not exactly exist in our model, like I'm passing the key say ABC1, which is not exactly exist in our model, then what happened? It will throw me an error. That's what we expected. It show me category got unexpected argument AB, which is not exist. So we have to do some filter in the post data and save the data only which exists in our model. So here after that fields, I'm doing what? I'm just adding another fields. So fields data equal to key column value, and here for key comma value in fields dot items if key in model underscore fields. So here I'm just taking all that fields which is exactly exist in the model fields. So if I pass ABC key, which is exactly not exist in the model fields, so I'm just gonna eliminate it and just getting a new dictionary with key value, which is exactly exist in our model fields. So if you see the model fields, it had this data and it will return you this fields data. And if you run this loop and create a new dictionary, it will give you all the fields which is exactly exist in our data. Copy this and paste it here. And for debugging, I'm just gonna show you what exactly happened. I use the model underscore fields and printing the print fields dot item. So I'm just printing what exactly earlier happened and what happened after that. Now save it. Now if I try to send again, and it is going with some error like dictionary object has no item, no attribute item. So let me see. And here it is showing it's will be items, not items. Save it. Now check it again. So click on send. And here we go. It's working now. And here we go. It is working. And if I see this data, so it is showing dictionary data. The first one, which one is for this model fields. So if you see this first dictionary data, it is model fields. Right? Like what exactly exists in the model fields. You can say display order, parent ID, domain user ID, added by user ID, image, updated description, and other things. And if you see the dictionary items, the second one, which I'm passing, it had name and everything, and it also had ABC key, which I'm passing from the URL. But after that, if I sanitize this data, like I remove these fields, which is actually not exist in our model fields, I can get the actual dictionary items. You see here ABC is removed. So this one we are going to save the data in our database. That is working fine. Now save it and it's done. Now after that, here we need to add one more logic. Now here is one issue. If I pass parent ID here, let me show you parent underscore ID. So parent ID is same ID of the same category with the parent ID. So just like here I added the category test xt2, just copy this parent ID and passing this ID the parent ID. Let's then see what gonna happen. If I send, it's get break because the ID 20 is not a category instance. So what we gonna do? We need to write a logic in which if the field is foreign key, then we need to get the foreign key relational table data by that ID and save that instance to our model fields. After that, here we can need to use a logic for saving the data. So here assigning foreign key instance for foreign key fields. Now here I have to write the logic for field in fields info if field dot is relation and field dot name in fields data and is instance fields data fields data field dot name comma integer. So here I'm just checking what if field is field info and field is relational, field name exists in field data, and the value of the field data is integer. After that, I can say what I will add related model equal to field dot related model and just adding try catch logic. So try field field data field name equal to related underscore model dot objects dot get id equal to field data dot field name. So what I have done here field data is like if you are using parent id, so you are just checking the parent id will come here. Parent id field data will go and update with the related model, so it is a category model which I am getting with id and updating the category model by id. So here it just pass the id and we can get the category model instance and it's gonna sit with the parent id. So here I'm passing the id, it's gonna change with the instance. After that, adding the accept related model doesn't exist, and here just returning the message error field name relation not exist. Now save it. Let's check it's gonna work or not. Now if I try to send again, and here it's working now with the id 23 and parent id 22. So that is gonna work. Now let's check in database. So coming to the database, and if I see, if we see the 23 id and it has 22 id with the parent id 22, so that's gonna work. So the logic is simple. I just get this relational model data and set in our the current field. So let me review the whole code again for better understanding or for revision. So first, in this line, I'm just checking whether model exists in our database or not in our list. Checking if model exists in our dynamic form models, getting the model name from dynamic form models, getting the model class by model name. Here I'm getting the model class, actual class by using the model name. Checking if model class exists, getting the model fields info, getting the model fields name, getting the excluded fields, checking if the fields are required in request data. Like here I'm just checking what are the required fields in the what are the required fields in our model data, not in request data. It is model data. Checking if the checking the required fields are in the model data, matching validation for fields not exist in post data. If missing field exists, simply return the message, creating a copy of post data for manipulation. adding the domain user ID and user ID in the post data, filtering the post data by model fields, and eliminating the extra fields. Then here I just add the print message, assigning foreign key instance for foreign key fields in the post data by getting the instance of the data model by the ID. So here the simple sentence is there. I am just getting the foreign instance of that model by the post data ID which we are passing and getting a object of that foreign key model and using the ID. Getting the model instance, saving the data in the database, and all done. So that's it. It is working now. So all things has been done and I added the comment for better understanding. So I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching. Please like our video and please subscribe our channel. And if you have any question, please do comment.